Hello, I'm Sarah Turner. I work as an executive and maternity coach. And in today's video, I want to talk a little bit about why an organization should consider implementing a maternity coaching program. And I can talk to this from a couple of perspectives, really, because I have experience not only of being a mum and going through maternity leave myself, my own story around that, but also I have a background in HR and I have worked in diversity and inclusion teams and been responsible for implementing these programs myself. Thirdly, I work as an executive and maternity coach, and the maternity coaching side of my work sees me working with women across a range of different sectors with a variety of experiences of going off and having a baby and returning to their place of work. And so I can really bring all of this knowledge and insight into today's video. So I guess, first of all, and what I hope is a pretty obvious point to all of you listening, is that we have a serious lack of women in senior positions in organizations. And if your organization is serious about diversity and inclusion, one of the ways in which you can improve the performance of your organization, there's plenty of research that points to this, is having diversity at the senior table. And having diversity means a whole range of different things, but particularly in this case, it means having women. And if you have a good balance of both men and women and all the other diversity demographics that are important to consider here, you're going to get diversity of thought. And there's a lot of research out there that shows that diversity of thought leads to increased business performance. Secondly, we know that COVID has brought about a huge tidal wave of change. And one of those is it has seen an increase burden for women around caring. And so it's had a greater impact on their experiences of their career. And if we're thinking about maternity coaching, why does it matter? Why does it make a difference to the women who are experiencing it? Well, in my own experience, both personally and professionally in the work that I do, I see it having an impact in a couple of key areas. Firstly, it's an emotional impact. So this is about women feeling valued, feeling seen, feeling appreciated and feeling supported. So those women who are given the maternity coaching, often they say to me, I can't believe I've been given this. This is brilliant. I mean, it's just unheard of that I would get this kind of level of support. It also can help to build confidence because going off on maternity leave, and particularly when women take the full year, and if they add on holiday, it can be more than that, taking a whole year out of the workplace can feel really quite scary and make them feel quite vulnerable. And so when they come back to work, going to have a meeting, going to meet with a client, giving a presentation, whatever those things are that they would have done in the blink of an eye before they had a baby, suddenly feel bigger, feel scarier, feel more exposing, and they can feel that they're out of touch, they haven't been involved, they haven't got the background, and that all of that can combine to cause them to experience a dip in confidence. So from an emotional point of view, maternity coaching really lifts women up. It really builds their confidence. It really supports and empowers them to have a successful return to work. The second is quite a practical focus. So again, I've gone through this myself, but also I share often stories and examples of how other women have overcome particular challenges that are being faced. And really thinking through quite practically, how am I going to make this work? So for example, I've had a woman who had gone back to work and was still breastfeeding, and there was a social event at work in the evening, and she felt really torn, like, I need to be at this social event, it's in front of clients, it's important that I'm seen and there. However, quite practically, physically, I am breastfeeding, and if I don't go home and feed my baby, that's going to be a problem. How do I make that choice? How do I make it okay to, whichever one I go for, to be okay with that decision? And that's not a black and white decision. That's something that needs to be talked through, and for the woman to feel supported to make the choice that's right for her given those circumstances. So it can be some quite practical conversations that we're having around that return to work, around the practical ways of managing being both a parent, a new parent at that, and combining that with your career. The other thing I think is really important here is having an external coach. So someone who's not connected to the organization. It creates a really safe place for the individual to share what's going on, articulate any concerns, any anxieties, any worries that they may have, and not worry that that's going to be fed back to the organization in any way, that it's going to impact on how they might be seen or perceived, because the coaching is entirely confidential. Now, having said that, with some organizations, it is sometimes useful to be able to share some themes back, but they're really high level. It's not portraying any confidentiality or sharing any names. And I always check and contract around that with my clients when that's the situation, that's what's being asked for. The other reason I think that it can be important to think about maternity coaching is line managers are often poorly equipped, particularly if they've not gone through maternity themselves, or if their partner hasn't had a baby, or they're not a parent themselves. It's actually really challenging to manage someone who's going through a major life transition that which you have no real personal experience of, or knowledge of how practically to support that individual. So some line manager training is a bit of a no-brainer for me. But in addition to that, providing the coaching on a one-to-one basis or a group basis, which is also another way in which you can offer maternity coaching to your organization, really supports and enables the line manager so that they can do what they're able to do, what's within their skill and within their gift, but also supports and empowers the woman herself to be able to manage that transition and have the conversations that she needs to have. Maternity coaching is still relatively new in the world of coaching, so there is still more data and more research to be done that looks into the return on investment. But Ernst & Young have found huge success through doing maternity coaching. And with my own clients, I get very positive feedback, both from the organization and from the individual. So if you're interested in finding out more about how maternity coaching might support your business, please do get in touch. You can reach me at sarah@bloompeople.co.uk. You can also check out the website, www.bloompeople.co.uk. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope to speak to you soon.